All right. Test.
Test.
Test. Couple days that I was at my dad's house, we were watching, I don't know if it was A&E or whatever. There was these different biographies on different like 80s hair bands. We watched one on Skid Row. We watched one on Motley Crue. We watched one on Poison, Alice Cooper, all the stuff. But I mean, Alice Cooper's not an 80s hair band. But anyway, we're watching all these shows, and I start laughing because when it talks about, you know, they all kind of run the same course, right? Bunch of young, hungry kids, right? They get their stardom. They get a big hit or a big hit record, and then they, you know, they're riding high. There's drugs, there's addiction and alcohol and all that stuff, and then it all hits the spot that goes, and then 1993 happened, or 1990. It's like grunge. Like every single one ends the same. They all have the same ending where it's like, and then like 1992, like nobody fucking cared anymore.
Yeah, that's right. And they have a resurgence at some point, and you know, fucking Thursday night, man. I'm like, that's the stadium tour in Cleveland.
It's not a resurgence if you see them at a local bar, Brian.
No, it's just, but it's just like you have a run where people in your generation are getting a little older. And it's now getting into the nostalgia run where you just at some point decide, fuck it. Putting out new music is a fucking waste of time. Nope, nobody cares. We're going to go out and play to our audience that grew up with us. They're going to be 40s and 50s and up now, frankly.
This time next year, we're just going to be redoing the script from our first season.
Sure, that's right. Yo. Here's
Millennial Santa. Do Millennial Santa. Fucking play Millennial Santa.
Turn in the hand.
Yeah, at first I'm going to hate playing it, right? Because it's like, listen, we're trying to put out
fucking ham gravy. Do fucking ham gravy.
We're trying to put out new content, you guys. Now listen.
You're going to love this, guys. Wait a second.
After another year, it's like Dean's going to be like,
pay us to stop. That's right.
Yeah. Another 6 months of that, Dean's gonna be like, you know, Mom called it ham gravy.
Yeah, fucking ham gravy.
Let's go with it.
Yeah, but it was funny. Yeah,
the airline back. And
they
just
had
go
all that. Every single one ended that way. But actually, we did also watch. It was a Vince Neil documentary, like Vince Neil specific documentary on his life, the way he grew up, where he grew up, all that stuff.
Tough go.
And he was fucking from Compton.
Was he really?
Yeah, he grew up in fucking Compton. Yeah,
lost his daughter. Did he know illness?
Yeah,
terrible.
But it was really good because a lot of the Motley Crue stuff I see usually kind of paints him as the bad guy. And granted, this was obviously done interviewing him.
Sure,
but you know that he was demanding, but I'm like, when you think about what he was going through, and he even said he goes, dude, when I lost my daughter, he was like, I didn't hear from anybody. Not one of those dudes from the band reached out to me. He just like at that point, I was like,
I'd be done.
These are work acquaintances. You know what I mean? Like these are not. Yeah. This is not my family. These aren't my brothers. These are work acquaintances. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I was like, it was just kind of a different. Again, this was done with him, so it's his side of the story. But I was like, yeah, that's fucked up.
He contacted
most of the Vince Neil shit that I see is usually like, well, because they kind of, you know, the rest of the band kind of trashed him in the media, and who knows what's actually real. But yeah, it was like, if that's true, I'm like, yeah, I'd be a little fucking sour at that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But yeah, it was pretty good. The Alice Cooper one was fascinating. I did not know the story of him and the band. The fact that it really...
I'm very curious about that one.
Yeah.
He's a smart dude.
Going into it, I go, well, you know, because a lot of the thing is, you know, that they lay the groundwork with is that, like, you know, the band kind of broke up around him because it was all about Alice or whatever. I'm like, well, what do you expect when you join a band named after the guy? But that's not what it was.
Right.
The band was named Alice Cooper, first, and then he decided to take on the name Alice Cooper. That's not his. I mean, his name is Frank something. Fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fernie or something
they
like that.
first decided to name the band Alice Cooper, and then he was like, "Well, as the front man, I'm going to be this Alice Cooper," and then everything revolved around him and with the alcoholism, and he became more lively, and he was the focal point, and slowly the band around him was getting phased out. So you get, not that I think he did it intentionally, but the rest of the band obviously got pissed that like you basically took our band name, made it your name, and then took over, and now Alice Cooper is Alice is you.
When Brian's going to start going on tour, being my name is Convincing Idiots.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
I mean, it might as well be. He does all the work. We're his touring band, really.
That's right.
No,
I'm
but
run him out his microphone.
Yeah, I wanted to see that stadium show Sunday or Thursday.
Is it this coming Thursday?
Yeah, in Cleveland. You could do upper seats, the upper area seats for like $30 plus fees.
Probably, that's not bad.
No, probably $50 total or so.
That's
to
Motley
get in
Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, and Joan Jett. Is that right?
Yeah, and I think another band opens up for them as well. I think. But
can you imagine the smell of denim and icy hot that's going to be in that place?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The people watching,
amazing.
That's worth the price of admission.
Oh yeah.
Well, and they even said in one of the ones we were watching, they were like, now the people that they were talking, I think it was the Vince Neil one, or maybe it was the Motley Crue one. They were talking about the cruise or whatever, the Motley Cruise or whatever that they do, and they're like, now the people that, I think it was Eddie Trunk, he said the people that grew up on this music now are the people that old enough that have the money that can fund these things, and like you see a resurgence of that type of music because those people have the money to pay for all this shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so yes, it's pricey. But the people that want to hear it are in the age bracket and the price bracket that typically can pay to do these things.
That's right.
So it's kind of interesting. It was some of them were pretty good.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I've checked some of those out.
Yeah. All right, guys, it's pushing. How much time do we have?
Did you just see that shit? If you liked what you saw, like and subscribe. Come back. You're gonna wanna.
Ham gravy.